questions and hints at what I've forgotten will be greatly appreciated. The title here is Sex, Gambling, and the Zionist Ideal. I think it all begins shortly after my 13th birthday. My birthday is in the winter time, and then as spring began rolling around, the troubles began because the hormones were running, and in our neighborhood, the boys were separate from the girls. We didn't see girls, and it drove me crazy. I mean, they were around, but they were always in their own little groups, and the only place I had to go was Young Israel. It was a sort of a moadon, a club where I played ping pong, but it was problematic. And one day, two guys, big ones, and a couple of girls came in and started walking around trying to talk to the kids. And I was interested in the girls.
Walked in where?
Walked into the moadon, into the club. I was playing ping pong. And I started talking to them, and I said, there are a lot of girls. And they were talking about the Zionist ideal and a country, and I really couldn't care less about those things. But they said, yeah, we have a lot of girls.
In
There were two of them, and two of them, there were,
They were from Habonim.
yes, they were from, this was from Habonim.
The Zionist.
The labor Zionist group, and a slightly better area that is in Brighton Beach. And they sort of came down to the poorer section where we were. And they thought they'd gather up a lot of new people. I was the only one, and really, what really got me there was the idea of seeing girls. And I started going. However, in the meantime, before I really got into it, I was still living in Coney Island, and we traveled on a trolley. We had a trolley that would go from Seagate right down to Stillwell Avenue where the train was. And it ran not really close to where we lived. We were on the wrong side of the tracks, but it was there. So when I was somewhere else, I'd jump on the trolley from behind, grab hold, and whenever it came to 27th Street where we lived, I'd jump off. So this time I was up, I think it was on 35th or 36th Street. I got on the trolley from behind, and lo and behold, he didn't stop. He picked up speed, and he passed the street, and another street goes by, and another street goes by. I don't know what to do. So I jumped. But I knew nothing about how you're supposed to fall and roll and all the other stuff that I learned in the army. I just went plop right down, and there were stones all over the place, and I got all scratched up, and I knew I couldn't go and see Mama that way. So I, even though it was evening, I just turned around. I walked straight to the sea. I was going to go and wash everything off. And there was a bonfire there and a little tent. And a girl calls me in. She was older than me, but probably by 4 or 5 years. For me, that was something very, very big. And she looks, and she says, "Get in the water, clean yourself up, come back." So I go in the water, I clean myself up, I come back, and she starts putting iodine on, and I'm screaming and everything, and it's really nice. And then we started making out a little bit, something I'd never done before. And then she says, "Well, my boyfriend is going to come any minute, and don't worry, I'll take care of it, but just sit here and we'll see what happens." So he comes in and he says, "Who is this?" And she says, "This is a nice boy," and he's all He's got all scratched up, so I took care of him. Maybe even help him out a little bit. And he says, maybe he looks at me. He says, let's go for a walk. He takes me down along by the sea. He says, would you like to make some money? So I couldn't say no, although really money I didn't really know much about money at the time. I said, sure. So he says, here, take this envelope. You go to this address on 14th Street, which is near Stillwell Avenue. And you give the guy the package, and he'll give you an envelope and bring it back to me. So I went, I got to see the guy who was really strung out. Then I didn't realize, I just thought he was a tired old man, maybe 30. He gave me the envelope. I come back, I give the guy the envelope, and he said, okay, now you're one of us. He gives me a $5 bill, and he says, anytime you're ready, you come. We'll have more things for you to do, and you'll have a steady income. Income didn't mean much to me. So I said, okay, but I realized something was wrong with the whole business, so I was trying to think about it. It was in my mind. It was actually, for a Coney Island boy, it was a career opportunity, because they used to say a Coney Island boy chick never goes far from Coney Island. And anyway, I was thinking about it, and then this came along, and I started going to Habonim. And on Habonim, they used to get money for the Jewish National Fund, you know, to buy land in Israel, because this was before the state. This was in 44. It was 44. So we had to get in the subways with a pushka, with a little box they got money, and make some speech about the Jews and the state and like that, and go around collecting money. I hated doing it, but everybody did it, so I did it as well. I also got rid of my Brooklyn accent, because everybody used to laugh at it there. They all spoke Midwest English, I guess. I don't know where they got it from, because most of them grew up in Brooklyn. But it was like I was a joke. I was these, them, and those, the tough guy from Brooklyn that you'd see in the movies. So I changed it, and I was fitting in, and I was making these talks, and I had something like $10 in change to bring into to the fund. When I come home on the trolley tracks, I get off the trolley at 27th Street, they were playing dice. But they were using the dice as if they were marbles. That is, they dug a little pit, and we stood around, I don't know, 4 yards back. There was a line, and whoever had the dice would roll, and everybody would make bets, and the house would take a certain percentage. And so I had $5 that I got from the Karen Kayemet, the Jewish National Fund money. And I said, okay, let's see what happens. And I come away with a lot of money. I didn't even know how much it was. And the next day I go back, and I come away with a lot more money. And this went on up until the meeting we had on Thursday. It was really pretty much from Monday through Thursday, or Friday. Our meetings were on Friday evening. So I counted up what I had, and a lot of money. It came up to $100, and I went into a bank. They used to do these things for you, and I said, here. And I gave them all the small change, and they gave me $100, $5 and $10 bills. And I walked away with it. I come to the meeting, and I say, look, this is what I got for Karen Kayemet, for the Jewish National Fund. They said, where did you get all that money? I said, well, it started out with $5, but I played dice, and I did well. And then all of a sudden, it was like I was in trial. And Bobby's sister was older than any of us, but she was sort of like the mentor of this Habonim group. said we have to think about it. And it's like I'm on trial waiting for what they decide. And they said you may have to take the money back. It's like dirty money. And I'm thinking, first of all, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with $100. My parents they don't make that kind of money in 2 or 3 months salaries. So I couldn't do anything with it. It was like nothing. Anyway, I sit there and finally I see her thinking and thinking and thinking, and she says, well, we don't ask the people who give money where it came from. So we won't ask you where it came from, and you won't tell us. So I said, thank God. Okay. And they took the money and gave it to the Jewish National Fund, and I was released of the only real fortune I ever had in my life. Then I continued there with the Habonim, and it was a good opportunity for me to get out of the house, because the continual life that I saw was at home with Clarence, and he was limited, but I wasn't, and I really felt that I had to breathe and I had to get out of there. And this was really an opportunity, and it seemed like a good idea. I go to Israel, I'm a pioneer, I work hard, I enjoy working anyway, and it's a start. And I have this dream of my kids belonging, whereas I never really belonged because my parents were immigrants and their English was not so great, to say the least. So that's how I got the idea, and joined the Habonim. I had to learn theory and ideology, and all that was really easy for me. I was always a great talker, not much of a writer, but a great talker.